over.
Everything went bye-bye.
Absolutely.
Okay, so
It was
here we
crazy.
go. Round number 3, very soon. Players are ready as we speak.
Yes, we will get the round soon, but as I was saying, I wanted to touch upon another part of the meta that I've seen at least some players out there. That's our mono black enjoyers, which they also have some new toys that came with Modern Horizons 3.
Yes.
Because the most common commander to start with is Shieldred, which is the normal start. You can then pivot to other options that can happen. So Shieldred the Apocalypse, that's the starting commander.
Yeah.
But there is also an option to pivot towards, I think Tiny Bones is the very common change that I've seen.
Is that so common?
I've seen
Yes.
it quite a lot. I'm not sure, what else would you change?
Well, you got the Turach.
That's true, Torach is also, yes.
Black, because it has protection from
Oh,
white.
yeah, if you're
It's,
playing against White Vini.
yeah, or Yoshimaru, so you
Yeah.
can like kill it with the or kill it with the kicker trigger to discard 2 cards.
And we can see there will be another match with Tamyo.
Yes.
Yes. Fantastic. So that'll be
Spoiler
Tamyo.
alert.
Yes, spoiler alert. That'll be Tamyo on the left here. We'll see what will be on the right. Just give it a moment. The boys or the players are still preparing. We shall see. Maybe they will even watch us on the live stream.
Yeah.
Which I know our fantastic coverage is beloved. I'm not sure if it should be beloved by the players right in the action.
Yeah, while playing like
Yeah, while playing, just listening to the others. But now, we don't know yet what commanders we have. On the left is definitely Tamyo, Inquisitive Student, led by Wojciech Lavička. We'll see what exactly he's cooking up. I'll
Curious.
try to. I'm very curious what style. Of,
Shuko check
if-
right now.
Yeah, that's right. Let's do a Shuko check. And Nadu check as well. Well, I can definitely see Boseiju here.
Edimura crap, what's that?
Borrower, counter.
S.
I'm going down. Worry not. Shark Typhoon.
SH. No.
No Shuko in
I
the
believe we are
list.
looking at the blue version.
Just more, yeah, more blue, a lot of counter magic, but I've seen Oko. Yeah, there is Oko Thieves of Crowns, there is Nadu in the
Oko
deck
is
list.
always.
And on the right, with Michael, it looks like Squee and Slimefoot in the very interesting stained glass print, which is quite confusing to distinguish. I'm not 100% sure. Let me
Yes, this is
wait.
Slimefoot and Squee,
Yes,
100%.
it
I
is
recognize the art. And now we finally, or not finally, but we see the prime example of what the top tier decks of this meta look like.
Absolutely.
Tamyo on one side, Slimefoot on the other. I've been on both sides of the table. I've played Tamyo and I've played Slimefoot a lot. Each time I faced Tamyo in the semifinal, or I played Tamyo and faced Slimefoot in the semifinals, I've lost.
Yeah, unfortunate.
Yeah. But so let's see how it's gonna go.
Now, both of those decks are, as you said, top of the meta, but both of them go about their game a little differently. The Wojciech's build on Tamyo looks more control-y, and which basically allows the game to slow down.
I don't think it provides an advantage in this matchup because you usually against Slimefoot that has sorcery speed threats. You want to close out the game suddenly.
Okay.
Just get the Nadu, get the Shuko, equip everything, play out your whole deck over and over again, get the loop on. Thank you for showing us.
Thanks to Michael, it was a little too quick for us.
I've
but I've seen some lands.
Simeon Spirit Guy,
Yeah.
Arbor Elf maybe.
Might
so we are looking at almost very likely Slimefoot on turn 2.
Most likely. Well, there was definitely a fetch land, which will allow 100% to let the Slimefoot leave on turn 2, be played very quickly.
And
On the side of...
chat is disconnected or something. It's just live. Yeah.
Okay, we might have a little trouble with the chat, just so we can see it as well. Hopefully it will be fine. Yeah. We'll just do a little check here. Don't worry. Now, I really look forward to this kind of game and this gameplay, mainly due to the fact that Wojciech's Tamyo and Michael Slimefoot are probably, well, some of, I will not say the best decks, but some of the best decks we can see.
Yeah.
And also we have the fight between control and mid-range, which will also be a little different styles, different approaches
Yes.
to the game.
The Tamyo basically most of all needs to keep the Slimefoot out of the battlefield.
Absolutely.
So doing everything it can, either by countering it or bouncing.
Absolutely,
Or
yeah.
the second like favorable approach Tamyo can go for is to flip the Tamyo as soon as possible,
Absolutely.
keeping the board clean
Yeah.
and protecting it at all costs, and hopefully win by the ultimate ability that draws half of your deck.
Well,
That
you
is
then win by something you find, but you're absolutely right. Yeah, and turn one
granted
Tamyo,
the advantage.
just a nice blocker.
We see Alano.
No, there's a Finhorn Elf, yeah.
And Tamyo is alive.
Okay, now
I-
there is
Usually,
the attack.
I've lost with Tamyo against Slimefoot when they get to answer it on turn one immediately.
Okay, like-
because as I said in the past, if you answer Tamyo right away, the deck plays way worse than
Absolutely.
it gets the benefit of Commander online turn one. Then we see Slimefoot.
Absolutely, there is turn 2 Slimefoot answered by Manileak. Okay, and Slimefoot, let's see
maybe-
where it goes. It goes to the bin. Interesting
That's very
choice
interesting
on
because,
Michael's side.
Potential reanimation spells that you
Might
can
be.
use to buy the Slimefoot back into
Absolutely.
the game,
Or maybe
can
some-
be also countered by
Absolutely.
Tamyo, and you are stuck with your commander permanently
That's true.
indisposable. So,
Maybe he just has a lot of Saplings in his deck.
and maybe some like self exile graveyard cards like
be.
Delve or something,
Could be.
using the extra card in the graveyard.
Okay, so there is the Ravenous Theater. So the Surveillant, probably keeping top. Yes, keeping on top.
But the matchups
Now
basically
for
boils
2 mana,
down,
yeah, Lord of Bones.
and this is maybe the reason why.
I think Emperor of Bones.
Emperor of
Sorry,
Bones.
I mistitled the guy.
Yeah, he is not just some lord.
He's not Lord. He's the
emperor.
Emperor. I'm sorry. Not the Emperor. He's not legendary.
Okay.
He's just a Emperor of Bones.
And let's see if Emperor resolves, because this is one of the reasons
It's
why
in-
maybe the Slimefoot went to the graveyard.
Most likely, because there is an option just to counter it. Just to exile it and then get a counter.
Yes.
And just
Most
allow the
likely
Emperor
you
to
don't
grow.
need to exile it right away, but you do.
Yeah.
Okay.
There is also the adapt ability.
For the Simian Spirit Guide,
Yes.
suddenly to like play around this card, because if the Emperor is cast,
Yes.
the opponent see that you only have one mana available,
Absolutely,
so you
absolutely.
don't plan on being able to put it into to adapt it right
Exactly.
away.
And he can't really respond by countering because it's
And
What a
against-
Vara, it's a bounce effect.
okay,
As a response to the adapt trigger.
yeah, and then
It
we
works.
have a tough situation compared to the previous Felia one, because in order to Emperor of Bones being able to reanimate Slimefoot, basically,
Yeah.
he had to put it into the exile zone, not to the
Absolutely.
command zone.
Yes.
So I believe this Slimefoot is unavailable for the rest of the
It
game.
looks like it's gonna be gone. Just
It is.
in exile forever.
Finito, because the Emperor of Bones,
Yeah.
or is it with some counter on it?
No, I think it was a response to the adapt trigger, not the exile trigger.
No, this is put a creature card exiled with Emperor of Bones onto the battlefield under your control. It doesn't remember it, so while Emperor changes the zone, they discuss it here. I don't know if there is some judge call to be made to clarify the situation.
The Otavara, yeah, there might have been some. We don't really see the comments. There was a question about Otavara costing 3.
I believe the response...
Just a little thing.
okay,
The Otavara needs to cost 3 because Tamyo is legendary and the Otavara gets cheaper for every legendary.
Yeah, that's fine.
Permanent. Yeah, that was just
See,
a question.
Slimefoot is
Permanently exiled. That's brutal.
the game suddenly
Okay,
looks
that's brutal for
very
Michael.
favored
Absolutely.
for Tamyo.
Yeah, I can see that. And also we can see that Tamyo has mainly just islands and that's it. I don't see any green, but the core of the deck, as I checked,
It doesn't matter. The not doesn't matter, but doesn't matter that much.
Yes.
Because as we saw, the deck list heavily leans towards blue.
Absolutely. There is a lot of just counter magic, counter spell.
Right.
Okay, the Emperor of Bones
I
is
just
coming
want to
back.
say that the previous play with the Emperor of Bones firmly first letting resolve by only 1 mana available, letting your opponent think that you don't get to reanimate it that turn, and then having the Simian Spirit Guide surprisingly having to adapt it and put it in play back. Right.
It
that
was a
turn.
great play
It
by
was
Michael.
Amazing, like thinking. There.
Yeah, absolutely.
But unfortunately, it was met by maybe a bit uncommon kind of interaction.
Absolutely.
You would usually
Yeah, you
wanted
don't really
to counter
expect
spells,
it. Absolutely.
but you get the bounce spell, and now Slimefoot is gone.
Yeah, and now Michael just played 2 creatures, basically the Emperor of Bones and then the Canker Bloom, which is
That
like a
was-
nice reanimation target with Slime Food, but unfortunately we don't have
No,
Slime
no,
Food here,
no
so
Slime
it's
Food
just a 2-mana 3/2.
And like curiously, Michael just cast 2 spells, and they both resolve
Yeah.
with all the mana available for.
Yeah, there was a reaction on Wojciech's side. He just drew a card via
Yes.
the clue.
Yes.
Yeah, and there was a attempt to destroy the saga.
Yeah, Urza Saga was played, attempt from the Canker Bloom to kill it on response, I think, and there was a Stifle to counter the ability.
Absolutely, very good. And now we have a Tarmogoyf,
To
good
put some,
old Tarmogoyf
Yes.
to put on some pressure. Absolutely.
some more percent. on
Yeah,
the
Arbor
side.
Elf.
And
No, sorry, Dryad. Sorry, Dryad Arbor. My bad.
Dryad
That's the
Arbor,
Dryad Arbor. That's the
land
famously controversial art of Dryad Arbor.
yeah, the one I have,
Yeah.
I like it so much, but I'm also not putting it into the lens
You're putting it in the correct place
Yes,
where it
exactly.
should be.
where the creatures belong.
Absolutely. So there was activation on Emperor of Bones.
Because Michael lost its commander,
Yeah.
and that would mean he's in bad situation.
He's not in a good
But-
spot. You're absolutely right.
But he has some game going on. The Tamyo has a limited amount of interaction. As we
Absolutely.
see, so many things are hitting the play.
And there was just 4
Michael's side.
damage coming through by the Emperor of
Yeah,
Bones.
and
and
he's
another
under pressure.
attempt, and now successful attempt to destroy the Urza Saga.
Yes.
Okay.
That was, and it should be in exile because that's what the finality counter does, I believe.
You mean on the
On the Canker
on the
Bloom.
yeah,
Because
it should
was
be.
reanimated with Emperor of Bones.
Yes, there should be the finality counter. You're absolutely right. So the card should be in exile. So
If we
I'll just pop in and
Quick,
give
just
them.
call
Yeah,
some-
just good call. So Judge Call was really quick. Just we quickly
Sure.
resolved it. Okay.
Canker Bloom was exiled, and there's another goodie from the Modern Horizons, Chtonia Nightmare. Unfortunately, got countered, so we don't
Yeah.
see the strength of this card in this game, particular.
Absolutely great. The card is absolutely great. and
There was an
it does
enchantment
lot.
hitting the graveyard, but there is no more creature, so that's why Tarmogoyf is still for free. For
3/4.
3/4,
Yeah.
sorry.
But still, it can continue to be an effective blocker. It might even get big enough to block the Emperor of Bones.
yeah,
And Tamyo
in
is
some
just
time.
grinding the value. 4 clues,
Clues,
so
clues,
many
clues.
cards. And you can see on Michael's side, he has only 3 cards in his hand. He's gonna run out of gas quite soon.
Yeah, there's still some.
There are
things
options.
on
I'm not
play.
saying he can't really get back, but the options are really
The missing slime food
Yes.
is a big hit.
That's
now, I don't think he get to exile any card with the Emperor
He
because
did
just,
not.
He
He's-
just went into the red zone
he just skipped it. Okay.
because he can still exile cards even if they are not creatures.
Absolutely.
Emperor has the ability that works as some kind of a grave hate, and
Now
There
there
is
is
Elvish-
a
Elvish Mystic.
Elvish Mystic.
Just
Yes.
mana dork.
Just another mana dork. So you have 3 mana dorks
Yeah.
basically. Or
that is not a really best play on the Michael's side.
yeah, it doesn't really do anything, right?
doesn't help you much.
Yeah, and now Wojciech just casually popped 2 clues, drew 2 cards, grinding the value.
Exactly the situation you don't want to be against
Absolutely.
Tamyo, because you got basically draw an extra card.
Yeah,
each turn,
and he's
start each
just
turn.
drawing and drawing, and he flipped the Tamyo,
And
used the plus
when you are
ability.
facing board full of 1/1s,
Yes.
the best thing you can do is just turn them off.
And now even the Emperor of Bones can't really swing through freely because the Tarmogoyf is a 3/4
Yes.
and the Emperor is
Yes, both.
also a 3/4.
Call it, right.
Just a bounce. Nothing really happens. Of course, Michael can have some bonus interaction,
Tamyo
but
under
Wojciech
pressure.
has a
Something, maybe?
lot of cards.
No,
Nothing,
just pass.
just pass.
Not looking good for the
It's
Michael.
not looking good for Michael.
Losing Slimefoot first and then letting Tamyo do everything
Absolutely.
she wants, basically.
I think that
as I said.
Wojciech is just running away with the game, just the value.
Plussing 1, and
He doesn't have to
in
do
2
anything.
turns we get the
ultimate.
We,
What do you mean?
we are not going to see it.
You don't
there,
think so?
There will be a concession way before that.
Okay,
I suppose.
okay.
But yeah, the game leads firmly towards Tamio getting the
Absolutely.
ultimate,
Absolutely.
drawing half of the deck, and from that point on, there is
Okay,
almost
we
no
see
chance.
Malcolm, which is also a
win.
value card, just a beater in the air, but it slowly gets it goes through your deck,
Yes,
right? The other Malcolm, the new one. Yeah, it goes if it hits, it does. Yes,
newest
that's
one.
right. That's
No,
right.
the second new one,
Yeah.
because there was a new
True.
red blue with the
You're
outlaws,
you're right. You're
which is also present as a commander today.
Yeah,
That's
you're
two
absolutely
Malcolms.
right. But this one is quite interesting because it basically loots every single time you hit. But if you manage to do it 4 times, you can just play the card to discard it.
Which is a crazy card
It's a
advantage.
great
and
advantage, yeah.
considering you have 2/1 flash flying for 2 mana, which are the great stats, long time from the Stonecrow times.
Remember Flash as well.
Yes.
So you can just
Yeah,
do it whenever you
2/1
want.
Flash
And
flying.
it's a concession on Michael's side.
As I said, not gonna see the Tamio ultimate.
Yeah.
No need. The game is finished.
Exactly. So this was a very interesting display of the ability of card draw, just advantage. Yeah, also a little bit of a flex points on the side of Wojciech to show.
There was no concession. There was
Not
some
a concession.
kind of
Okay.
Okay.
It just looked
Sorry.
like a concession. I'm
Yeah,
sorry
because
for
they
disclosing
just
that.
scooped up the cards, looking like the Michael conceded. But
Yeah.
actually, there was some kind of a instant speed.
It looked like some sort of a board-wide effect that we missed in the heat of the play.
Yes.
But there is still option for the Tamio to just
There
Get
was
into-
creatures returning to hand,
no. The creatures just came to the graveyard. You can see them in the bin.
or it was on the Michael's side then.
Yes,
Perhaps.
it was Michael's board wipe. Interestingly,
Living that perhaps.
could have been.
It's 5 mana, so
Yeah,
it
it
counts.
does check out, right? It could have been living that. Yes.
But doesn't really solve the situation
it
of Tameo
does-
just getting to the
it's
ultimate
true.
and
Okay,
sealing the deal.
It does do a little bit, like you lose. Okay, Malcolm is gone, the Goif is gone, but you don't really get anything, and the
Since you
Tamio
get
is growing.
40 new cards from your library. Does that really matter? No, it doesn't.
Now it looks like a final
A
school.
proper concession this time.
Now it's
I
a
believe.
proper concession on the side of Michael. We apologize, but still the game did not really look good for him. Now this really showed the strength of drawing extra cards.
I just want to see if the Slimefoot, is out of the library. Okay.
Yeah. We have it. Slimefoot is out of the library. I have to say, not gonna lie, it doesn't really happen often to me because I play partners. But I remember even like back in the day when I was starting to play Dual Commander with Feather, the Redeemed. Very fun deck, actually.
Yeah, I played it against on Arena in Brawl format.
And it happened to me quite often that I just took the card and shoved it in with the others.
Yeah.
It's not very nice to realize
Especially
that.
if you finish the game
Right,
maybe
right.
a bit tilted or something.
Yeah, like you're
and
a
you
bit
go,
off.
okay, let's go next. And okay, so
Okay, now we'll see another game, quite
And I hope
quickly.
Slimefoot will be back with vengeance, so we can possibly see some game 3.
Well,
We
in
see.
this case, we see a very interesting start, very heavy on green mana, because there is Utopia Sprawl, I believe, I've seen.
Wildcroft. It was
Wildcroft,
Wildcroft
it was
and
Wildcroft,
Yavimaya,
right.
the land that
Yeah.
makes everything forest.
Absolutely.
But there was also a fetch land.
Yeah,
so
there was
that
also
makes
character.
that makes the hand keepable, I believe, because
Absolutely.
there is also some little cheeky Mince and Bull, very powerful threat, I believe.
Absolutely, that's crazy. Yes, the card is
And
absolutely brutal.
Bombardiers, the
Also
the new
very strong. Yes,
3 mana to
Yeah.
haste menace.
and it also just shoots others from the board by boosting. Very strong option.
Especially if you're playing Slimefoot.
Yes,
So you
can
can-
just do that.
So you can both hit something for 5 and get your Slimefoot in the graveyard
Yeah.
to reanimate it.
Absolutely.
right away.
Ideally, you just hit your opponent's face and push the damage. We'll see. Now, Wojciech also kept a hand of 6.
Yes, mulligan is to be expected, especially if you are no draw. You really want to stop the early plays of the
Absolutely.
Slimefoot. Stop it in the tracks, as we
Right.
saw last game when it really didn't pay off for Michael.
Right.
He attempted this risky play. And
It was a little risky, but
It
I would have
was.
gone for the same play. I would not expect
really
a bounce spell.
okay.
I would expect a counter spell,
Yeah.
but not Otawara.
You are
Otawara
true.
was interesting.
The aspect that there was the Simian Spirit guy that surprisingly gave the extra mana to
Yeah.
adapt it right away was the touch that maybe it was really
Yeah, and there is Wild Growth.
justified.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, we are on the right track to cast Slimefoot as soon as possible.
Just
and
next
follow up
turn.
with
Ouch,
many
Taxium Probe. So we're gonna see the hand, and there is a lot of gas. We are cooking with gas, to be honest.
Fatal Push.
There is a Fatal Push, there is Yavimaya, Minskembu, the Bombardiers, and
Tlasotep Quarry,
land.
new
Yes,
land that
the quarry.
sacrifices creatures and can reanimate it, sort of.
That's
Okay,
fantastic.
Tamyo, which means that you either get to cast your commander or kill it with Fatal Push. I think.
I
got
think
for
that
Frostbite.
Slimefooted Squee is better.
Definitely,
option. You can
yes.
just kill it next turn, right?
Do
Play
you?
Bombardiers. Do you? Can
Do
you?
We see.
Well, I think that there is still an option to play the Bombardiers next turn and also keep up the Fatal Push.
I completely agree that having Slimefoot in play on turn 2 and letting your opponent have their Tamyo is a fair trade-off.
Yeah, like the Tamyo did not really do anything, it just created a clue. Okay, there are 2 open mana, counterspell is available.
This is anything.
A Thoughtseize.
Oh my god.
That's a great start.
Really great draw.
Thoughtseize is a great
because
start.
You are in a situation when you start putting out all those huge threats,
Yes.
and now you can also check it for
Mm-hmm.
whenever your opponent has the interaction or not. So means basically that the 3 mana, the Bombardiers
Yeah.
are very
They
likely
might
about to
come
resolve.
even through. We will see about Wojciech's
many-
hand. How many counter spells does he have?
He has
He's got a Snapcaster, a Lance, Nadu, Snap, and Counterspell is the card we can't really see on the coverage. That's the card on the left. And that's
Counterspell, yes.
Counterspell going away.
And make frog from everything with
Yeah, that's a
storm.
Storm Frog. Let's call it Storm Frog.
Yes, another one.
And a Nadu as well, but nothing that can really do a lot. Maybe Snap can
Snap
respond.
does a lot because you snap, then crack a clue in the same turn and prevent the whole shebang with the Bombardiers
Yeah.
attacking with everything, including
And
Slimefoot.
He preemptively snaps
Yeah.
just to get away the attack.
The Michael didn't commit it on playing the Bombardiers,
That's
even
true.
if there was the mana for it, because he wants to fatal push the Tamyo.
Yes.
As I said,
He drew a card and
even if
yeah,
you
lost
don't
it.
have that much mana, just putting her out of the battlefield is a priority.
Absolutely, because it's still a blocker, right?
Yes.
Like it generates value, it's still a blocker. And on the side of Wojciech, if he doesn't have another land,
The
that's
Nadu is
yeah.
really sad
The Nadu is
because
sad.
there is no green mana for it.
Absolutely.
Unless Michael plays the Yavimaya in hand,
That's true.
turning on the own green
That's
mana
true.
for Wojciech.
But still, even though Wojciech has got a Snapcaster Mage, there is nothing to target effectively because he has only
Nope.
3 mana available,
You
so
can,
he can't really do much.
get Exam Probe for it. Okay.
Good.
Oh, we don't have green mana?
Just play,
Okay,
yeah,
they
okay.
realized, okay.
They just realized it's alright. It would have been a nice play, but there is no...
I wouldn't love it too much because you are staring down the Minsk and Boo, and once
Absolutely.
that resolves, you are in big trouble.
I believe that Minsk and Boo will still resolve, though. There is only one secret card, I believe.
I believe there are two because there is the clue correct,
That's
and
right,
that's
that's
the
right.
draw step.
There are some
So
options.
let's hope for Wojciech. There is a counterspell, but let's see that.
Yeah, and interestingly, well, quite logically, Michael chose to play
Just went
fetch
with the-
land, and he did not play the Yavimaya.
Yes.
Because that would unlock the option for Wojciech to
Maybe
try to choose
if
Nadu.
Wojciech didn't attempt to cast Nadu last turn, he wouldn't realize that his opponent has out of green mana and to play
Yeah.
it. But also, really good thing that, and we see that Minsk and Boo is
Minsk
resolving.
resolved, and now the fun is on because the wee little hamster is gonna grow very, very fast.
Into not so wee
Not
little
so
hamster.
wee and not so little hamster.
And remember, there is no Wrath of the Sky in
That's
the Wojciech's
right.
deck. No way to get rid of everything.
Honestly, I don't even see any good option for Wojciech to get rid of this
He had
Minsk.
land.
Just
He-
land pass.
Well, there is some stuff going on
There was a
because
land drop.
there is a Snapcaster
Yes.
into Snap that deals in combat with the Boo token
Yeah,
quite
absolutely.
handily. Because if the Michael goes for plus Boo again,
Yeah.
or even the -1, he can respond and just completely foil the plan.
That's true, but it just slows down the tempo. It
and-
does not really stop Minsk itself.
Yes, this is a great and brutal opportunity and power at the side of Michael because he has a planeswalker that does something without any mana being spent.
Absolutely,
So,
absolutely.
his opponent has to deal some kind with the Minsk and Boo and the Boo token.
Okay, he went up on mana, trying to target Minsk, sorry, Boo,
That's going
and
to
there
be
is the
Snap.
Snapcaster into Snap.
Snapcaster.
Snap, 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 snap.
Nice.
So the Boo token is out of the game, and
In
it will
response to the trigger.
yeah, it will come back on the upkeep, but for now, it's gone. Now we'll see also if Michael chooses to play Yavimaya or just keep it in his hand. I'm very interested to see
Yes.
what he chooses to do
You
with
see
it.
this
Now,
Slimefoot
once
and
again, the
Squee.
Slimefoot and Squee
Makes
coming
sense,
in.
putting it on the play as soon as possible.
Just from hand, remember? It was not cast from command zone.
Yeah, still in play, this commander this
Yeah.
time. And the Bombardiers are just like
They are
ambushing.
ready.
And
Now he's thinking about it.
he's thinking about not.
Will he
playing
or
it.
will he not?
Okay.
It's tempting, but also it gives the Nadu to your opponent.
The
or
question
the
is-
option to play it.
Does Nadu really help that much in this situation?
That's absolutely the
Oh,
right
and we
question.
see the Bombardiers.
Yeah, he's making red mana to be able to
Right
cast
away.
the Bombardiers, and there is Force Spike coming
That's huge.
as a
That doesn't solve the
answer.
situation.
That's right.
But helps it a lot.
It does help.
Uh,
And also there'll be Nadu, which is a 3/4,
The-
which can effectively block
yes,
the
yes, yes,
creatures
yes.
for one
and
turn
the
at least.
amphibious, whatever, how it's called, can save to
Winter Moon, my lord. Now that's a
4
spicy
basics
card.
versus 5 non-basics.
Winter Moon is a very spicy card because it allows you to untap only one non-basic land
Yeah, we
during
see
each
the
turn
land
cycle.
with the Valgrove that's not getting
Not
untapped.
really.
That is
Interesting choice.
Maybe a misplay because
Might
we got
be.
a green black land
Yeah.
and a green black land that's enchanted. There's no
Right.
reason
Why-
I can think of.
Right.
But problem is Winter Moon is all nice, but doesn't solve the immediate
That's
problem.
right. It doesn't solve the board. It solves the fact that Michael
facing
may not play so many cards, but he only has
7
two.
and 4, 11 damage at most, if you count the minus,
There is the Ice Fang.
with enough
yeah.
snow-covered lands to be lethal that touchy.
Yes, that's right. And also, Ice Fang Cloud, that's the name. And yes, it has got that touch, and it came after
get-
the Slime Food. Interesting.
Well, the Minsk and Boo had a trample, so
That's
blocking
true.
it with 1/1 pretty sucks.
Yeah, that was
But
the choice
the
of life.
blocking Slimefoot, I agree, is not the best because now he is ready to reanimate it and bringing the bombardiers back.
Well, you say already. I
Not
say he's
really
not.
with mana.
That's
alright.
right.
But if he untaps the enchanted land now and plays a land, he has 4 mana
Absolutely.
available.
That's an option. That's an option that we may see.
We see,
and
but-
I believe we'll see Nadu potentially coming in. Because
That's a right. That's a right moment.
That's a fine moment for
2 mana
that.
untapped still to get some interaction. in
Remember
case-
that the aura, the flash aura, does not really solve the problem with Boo because it will still have the counters on it. So it does not really solve the problem of a 3/3 or even 6/6 in a moment coming in.
the amphibious downpour, which I finally
Yeah,
remember.
downpour. Yeah, that's right.
Was
Amphibious
kind
downpour.
of a kind of a interaction for the Slimefoot itself,
Yeah.
not for the Boo.
Mm-hmm.
As the most it does is to turn off the trample and haste ability,
Yes.
so we can jump block it better. But
And there
still,
is a full take on the attack, so Wojciech is coming down
if
to 2
you
life.
if you sacrifice the Nadu, you are just guaranteed to lose next turn. You're just
you're right.
prolonging the inevitable.
Absolutely.
But if you keep it in play, you might do something with it. Following turns, fight for the board
You're
presence.
right, but I'm not really sure. What,
7 mins and Boo. You have ability to attack it. You can then sacrifice it and
Right.
killing with outside the combat. There's just so many options, and even the Winter Moon doesn't solve the situation.
and there was also I've seen a blink of endurance coming from in Michael's hands. Now there
That
is an attempt.
Most will probably come into play now
And-
as another threat.
Yeah, and it may just solve the fact. Yeah, there is a read
downpour?
on the downpour.
I believe it will.
It is a
be
very strange card because it has got storm and it's also a permanent.
Wait. It's a blue frog creature.
Yeah.
Can it be used on the Saprolink token
Could
to
have
make it
been-
not Saprolink so that it cannot be used
It's
to
true,
sacrifice it?
but I wanted to say that it would not matter at all because the
solve it.
Minsk would just use the -2 ability and just hit the face with anything on the board.
It's just solving 1/4 of
Yes,
the
exactly.
bad situation, and
Right.
you need to solve it whole or nothing.
And thus we are going
We are
to
going to
game
game 3.
3. That's fantastic to see. And we will see Wojciech with Tamyo on play now, which means he'll have more time to stabilize, to find more answers to Michael's plan.
And to do not let the Slimefoot come into play ever. Because,
Absolutely.
Slimefoot, as we said, usually comes out turn 2. On turn 2 on play, Tamio has 2 mana available, which means probably every single counterspell
Yeah.
in the deck is
anything.
just ready,
Yeah.
waiting to counter the Slimefoot and send
Absolutely.
it to back to the command zone.
And once you
or
do
in the
this, it's
graveyard.
great. Like, once you counter the Slimefoot, you basically slow down the deck a lot, like by a long shot, because casting Slimefoot for 5 mana does not feel right. Like the card is not really worth that.
Slightly better than casting Tamio for 5.
Absolutely, you're absolutely right. But still,
Yeah.
so we will see how the hand goes.
Slight problem or like hurdle for Tamio to get through is just the Slimefoot deck is just full of the high power cards, and
Absolutely.
they
don't
usually
really care.
don't find an answer for everything, and we see
And
the
then-
lighted half lane.
Now, on the
for
first turn
Michael.
by Wojciech, as expected, Tamio, but on Michael's
Commentators
side,
focus hits
Yeah.
again. We talk about Slimefoot being countered and bang.
absolutely. And now the option for countering Slimefoot is very slim.
the table. You
Yes,
need to get
and there is just Slimefoot coming in.
snap something.
And now let's see what will be attempted.
There
Just drawing a card, and that's it. Slimefoot resolved.
the downpour, for example, and other cards that like
Yeah, like a frogify effect.
erase
Yes.
abilities and make a creature 1/1 is also a really nice answer
Yeah.
to Slimefoot because it is way worse if it's way worse.
No.
If you wanna flip Tamio, it is also like the 1/1 now does absolutely nothing.
You're
because
right,
It
you're
has 0 power, but yeah,
I
This
think
is a
that Michael is in a
situation.
nice situation now.
Wojciech,
Thoughtseize. I mean, Michael
Yeah,
is
sorry,
in a nice
sorry. Yeah, yeah,
situation.
right.
On Slimefoot.
Because has commander in play,
There
and we
is
see
a
Thoughtseize
Thoughtseize,
baiting out
and
the
now
force
let's
of
see.
negation for
Yeah,
2 cards.
there
That's rough.
is a counter by
That's rough.
force
That's
of
brutal.
negation. I'm not really sure how bad is that for Michael. He got rid of 2 cards on the side of Wojciech.
That's bad for Wojciech, not for
Yeah,
Michael.
absolutely, absolutely.
The Thoughtseize should be in exile, but it is not that.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's super relevant to do a check for that. We know it should be
I
exiled.
just wanted to notice it.
The boys probably know it should be exiled, but it's not super relevant for this matchup.
There's almost no card. And here we go with the
that's
Downpour. Yeah,
right.
that's and for 2 because we have a storm count.
Exactly. There is a Storm Count 3
Here we go.
actually. Because there was the Thoughtseize, then there was the counter.
Yeah, it is supposed to be 3, but they present just 2.
Well, he does not really have to. Well, he should target 3 creatures or
because
have 3 targets.
Not really necessary 3 targets. He can target with the copies the same creature,
Yes.
but there should be 3 distinct
Absolutely.
enchantments,
But
permanents.
I don't think we need to really make that
Yeah.
super obvious. Let's say the Slimefoot has got 2.
I love this because it's the back and forth. Tamyo now died to lightning bolt, so we are back to the situation that Michael has board full of 1/1s. Wojciech has slightly behind, but it's not facing any imminent threat. He
Yeah,
just
like it's just 4 damage. That's not super crazy, you know. And you can just play a blocker, like a Natty,
Tavara
or
going to
just
play,
replay
recasting
the
Tamyo.
Tamyo.
and 1 mana available.
Now
Let's
we
see
will
if there's
see
some
where
kind of
this goes.
interaction because that is the strength of the Michael's deck,
Mm-hmm.
the Slimefoot. There is definitely some kind of powerful threat coming. I saw Chaos Defiler in his hand, flashing by.
my.
Not really mana for it enough.
Okay, there's just a full swing coming in, so it's 3 damage. One of those will be chumped by, or blocked, I should say, by Tamyo. Now we continue with Arbor Elf. Just a mana dork, nothing crazy.
Okay.
We will see, and that's a
Nothing powerful
plus.
that turn.
Nothing
Yeah.
that really does
don't think-
a lot.
There is maybe some kind of a removal.
And there is Jace the Mind Sculptor coming on the side of Wojciech.
Flipping Tamyo?
We'll
Possibly.
see. We will see.
If there is no Oh, there is.
There
Oh
is
my-
Abrupt Decay.
Okay, that
Because-
was the plan completely.
Absolutely.
Because Tamyo now dies and Wojciech has only 2 clues.
Yes.
And the chase is facing also certain death.
Absolutely. The Jace
State of
can't
all
really
those
be
1/1s.
defended. Well, he could use the minus ability maybe to bounce something, but does not really solve anything. He could Fate
That's
Seal
the
to get
best
to
value
5.
to get,
He can get to Fate Seal to 5,
but it still dies.
but it still dies because there is 5 attack.
It sucks, but I believe the brainstorm is the best.
Yeah, he just uses the brainstorm. There's nothing else that needs to be done. So let's wait for the brainstorm to resolve. But the Jace is not going to stick.
It was a good plan.
was a
Facing
nice plan.
board full of 1/1s and just passing Tamyo, making all the tokens, all the 1/1s, 1 power creatures
Yeah.
being totally meaningless, but
Absolutely.
it didn't went through.
Yeah.
The Slimefoot, another strength of the deck. Not only that is really fast, really consistent, full of those high power threats, also has
Nice interaction.
yes,
Absolutely.
bunch of interaction, bunch of removal.
And honestly, it looked bad on the side of Wojciech, but the play would have been perfect if Tamyo would have flipped.
Oh, and Arbor Elf now untaps,
Now
cast, kills the Filer.
But there is
Force of
Force of Will coming as a result. You
And-
don't really want to let this go through. The Chaos Defiler is a crazy card.
No, definitely not. You need to get the
Yeah,
Chaos
it
Defiler
needs
out
to be
the
answered.
table, but still, there is the board full of 1/1s. Which
Yeah,
they are 1/1s,
so the-
but they are threatening
Yes.
to kill.
So the
Wojciech.
Chaos Defiler
Okay.
did not resolve, but there is a all-out attack coming to
Killing
kill
the Jace.
Jace. Just and the rest hitting the face as well. So there's 2 to the face.
What do you think? You're gonna see Tamyo for 5? Just
If we
full
see,
attempt?
Because
Because
for 5,
if
sure.
if nothing's happened to
Mm-hmm.
it, Wojciech can the next turn sacrifice those 2 clues. If nothing else, flip it, and then again foil the whole board full of 1/1
It's true.
creatures.
It just nullifies Michael's board completely.
And since Slimefoot doesn't get to the graveyard, cannot have the or doesn't have the opportunity
That's
to
right.
use the abilities.
Yeah,
according-
remember this is one of the only ways to get rid of Slimefoot. You basically make it into something irrelevant.
And especially if you yourself don't need to attack to win the game, you can just keep him 1-1 forever.
Yeah, you don't care about the 1 damage. Okay, yeah, you slowly lose life, but you will find some answers soon enough. We'll hope. Yeah, there was the
Fetch to
yeah,
Surveillant.
and the land just coming to the bin. So we'll see.
Okay, is that Tamyo or is it something else?
I think
Is Wojciech
we'll see how brave
courageous
Wojciech
enough?
is.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
If just playing Tamyo, is there anything better he can do?
That's a good
the-
question.
Also,
It's a very good question. What
the
is
Slimefoot
better
cannot
plan?
have a third removal spell.
Well,
Just
it
cannot.
sure can.
Yeah, he
And
can.
he
but
just passes. Okay, I think it was.
no Tamyo.
He might have a different plan prepared. Potentially, he
There's
can
fetch
also
land.
just crack the clues.
Fetch land for Mystic Sanctuary, bring something back and draw it by the
Ooh,
clue.
Heartless Scarlet. Or Headliner Scarlet, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Headliner Scarlet. A fantastic card that came out of the Clue edition. It's a very nice aggressive card. It's also card advantage. Well, the first ability is not super relevant at the moment because there are no creatures on Wojciech's side.
No blocking here.
But the second ability is basically card advantage every single turn. It's a
It's-
very nice beater.
Impulse variant
Yeah.
of Phyrexian Arena, basically.
Absolutely,
You
it's
get
just a-
extra card on upkeep every single
Exactly.
turn. And also, the card is face down, so until you play it, the opponent doesn't really know what it
That's
is.
true. You can just enjoy your time with the secrets, have the secret bolt hidden there. All things considered,
3, 6,
there is a lot of
9,
damage
9
coming.
damage coming in.
There is a lot of damage coming Wojciech's way.
And
Also,
if not answered, there is 2 life left on the Wojciech's side.
that's right. That's right.
We have a
So-
really interesting game 3 here.
I think we will see. We need to see what Wojciech is cooking because there was also the option to play Tamyo, but he chose not to do that. So he'll not be able to flip the Tamyo most likely next turn to use the plus ability and to nullify the board.
No.
There
You
must
would
be
need
something.
something like Tameo plus Brainstorm.
Yeah, that's right.
With it.
That would be the only
And
option.
even then, you got Scarlet, that is 1 minus 2 power,
Yeah.
that also is lethal.
That's right, because he would be on 2
Therefore-
life right now. He needs to have an answer right away.
And also, you get the fetch land,
Yes.
studying at the ass, which
So
is
basically,
minus 1 life.
10 life,
You-
not 11. If he wants to use it, of course. But he's on 2 cards right now.
I mean, I don't know the player, but he has to be something better than just casting Tameo
Absolutely.
on 5 mana, right?
Well, he chose not to cast it last turn, so he
yeah.
has to have a better plan.
Right.
I'm just scrolling quickly. There could be Cryptic command coming in. That would be a very spicy play, honestly. I see Cryptic commands in
Counter
the
tap,
deck list.
yeah.
Yeah.
all the life, but doesn't solve the situation.
It doesn't solve it,
You
but
got-
it postpones it.
Well, if there is cryptic command, he can cryptic command, fetch with the fetch land for the Mystic Sanctuary, return it back, draw it with the clue, and be
Yeah.
ready for the next turn. So, but we are talking about like almost the best case scenario for Wojciech.
Absolutely. And
I don't think it's
probably-
gonna be like it. There's no much other
Honestly, there
options.
is nothing else. Like Archmage's Charm doesn't really help. There is probably only the Cryptic command is like the best possible situation, which Wojciech could also try to dig for it. He still has 6 mana available, so worst case scenario, he could just try to fetch, crack a clue, and then try to find a Cryptic command. I'm not sure what else he
That
can do
is-
in this situation.
Really not the best plan.
It's not. It's not.
No,
I don't see. I don't see any good plan coming for Vojta right here.
Well, having cryptic command in the hand.
Well, yes, that would be ideal.
Or casting Tameo the previous turn. because
Yes, but
if
he-
not, there has to be something better. Right?
That's absolutely true.
He
If-
cannot. I don't know if the pressure.
It
just
would not
got
make
to the
sense
player.
to not play Tamio, or maybe he was just too scared of a fatal push or something. Hard to say. Very hard
Wasn't
to say.
fatal push played or?
Or just a different kind of.
Yeah, I
just-
know.
Just like a remove
But
spell.
the more removal
Right,
spells
right. The more we see,
have,
like the less.
have
is
already
available.
seen, the less of them are in the deck still.
Yeah.
So we have a judge call just clarifying some situation.
Yeah, there might be some kind of judge call, but our players are trying to find something out. Maybe there is a question about Heartless Scarlet. I can see it being pointed to. Maybe at the beginning of upkeep.
I might have an idea what's going on.
Maybe
Wojciech-
flashing in a creature?
Yeah, exactly. And he wants to flash the creature after hand, and he wants to know if he plays the creature after
know.
that, if he is able to block.
He won't be able to because there is creature's target player control. So he would have to get like a
It's
hexproof
a
for
blank
himself.
effect that lasts until
Absolutely.
end of turn for all creatures, not that are already in play, but
Yeah.
also
Like,
any other that
For
comes
example, you
afterwards
could play Vendelian Click
and still not be
as an
able to
example,
block.
and it could not block because let me just check if there is Vendelian Click. There is not Vendelian.
We saw it in the previous version.
Yeah, but not in this one. I don't see Vendelian Click. No.
It's not really
Maybe
that.
Shana's Tidebinder is an option.
That is, well, that would partially solve the situation, just
Yes.
countering the enter the battlefield trigger and then blocking.
But it was not played. The same for Subtlety.
Well, we don't know exactly if we are past the enter the battlefield resolve.
That's also true. We don't really know if the card resolved per se. We just know it was played.
Yeah, we haven't seen any attempt at moving towards combat.
Absolutely.
Something.
So we will see how the situation will be resolved. Hopefully it will be swift and prompt. But as I was saying, I don't really see a lot of options for Wojciech in this situation.
Mystical Confluence
Could be? Is it in
or
the
Mystic
rules?
Confluence? Yeah, I see. Mystic Confluence.
Okay, Mystic, yeah, there is Mystic Confluence as an option as well. I'm not sure. I was still, we don't know Wojciech's hand, but my idea was still to follow the line of playing Tamyo. He chose not to do that.
Yeah.
Which means there needs to be something better, right?
Because Tamyo would potentially solve the situation.
So we will see how the call goes. And also, if there is anything better on Michael's side of turn. Well, remember that last couple of turns, he did not really play a lot of things.
He played the Chaos Defiler, Michael.
He tried to play that, you're
Which
absolutely
was
right.
probably one of the least or last of his threats he
Yes.
has, because I believe the Headliner Scarlet was top deck.
That's true, it's probably true. Otherwise, I think he would have
And in
played
that
it
case, it
earlier.
was a really sweet top deck.
Yeah, it's absolutely a sweet top deck because it's a value, it's a hasty creature, so you can start the beatdown. And I think
And
that Michael needs to close the game soon.
Yes, and in extension, being 3/3 haste threat that
Mm-hmm.
also prevents blocking the turn and provides a card advantage. Basically, if it resolves unchallenged, it basically seals the game, I believe.
It's probably going to be the game. I think there are still on the Wojciech's side of table, there is still a lot of thinking about how to deal with the Headliner Scarlet, which was put in front. So probably there is still a little bit of uncertainty about it being resolved or not. Maybe on the side of the control player, it's still hard to say if yes or no. But as we mentioned, the ability to not allow blocking does not really affect or is not really affected by when the creature came to play, meaning on the side of Wojciech's table. It's just an ambivalent kind of ability that you have there
Yeah,
for the whole turn.
and to be fair, I am not really sure what are we solving here.
I also don't really know.
What happened? It is some kind of conundrum. Wojciech is facing a bunch of damage.
That's the kind
And
of conundrum.
It is something about the Headliner Scarlet, I think. So it resolved, and there is a combat. Wait,
The
Scarlet is
combat
not attacking?
is without the Scarlets,
Okay.
which there isn't a
And there was a block.
block.
There was a judge, sorry.
There was a judge. Well, I should not be asking that.
It is interesting. Because
Okay, that's an interesting thing. Maybe the judge decided that it should go the other way, not the way we said. I'm not saying I understand the game completely correctly.
That is interesting.
Well, it sounds like if it's creatures target player controls can block this turn, maybe it's the idea that there is no creature to be affected by that ability.
No,
Hard to
well,
say.
no, you are targeting the player. And it's,
That's true.
Pretty one-sided for my
Yeah,
taste.
I'm
That
not sure.
target
I'm
player
not really
controls.
sure.
Every creature target player controls can block. But maybe it is.
Maybe it's the fact that the creature wasn't there, so it could not have been affected.
And then I'm not really sure why Arbor Elf nor the Headliner Scarlet didn't attack.
I would
Like,
text
you,
them.
as we said numerous times. Michal just wants to close the game as soon as possible. because
Absolutely, he
when
wants-
he lets the Tamyo to recuperate, to cast the commander and to wait.
And just to see a couple of things, there was a scavenging ooze on the side of Michael, on the side of
In
Wojciech. There was
response, Mystical Sanctuary.
Mystical Sanctuary and finding,
the force
putting
of
back Force of Will.
Because the owls could snatch it out of the graveyard. if
Yes,
it's
that's-
done,
that's true.
later. I don't know if
I'm not
Force of
sure
Will
if it
also
helps.
solves the situation because outside of the Scarlet we have also these scavenging owls.
Yes.
like really like putting.
There is pressure. There is a lot of pressure on Wojciech, absolutely. And you know, the ooze, there are creatures to make it grow bigger. And the headliner Scarlet, don't forget the idea. And Michael,
you another
even
card.
yes, you get 2 cards. So even though Wojta could play potentially just hardcast the Force of Will, sorry, there can be still another card coming in, and more.
Was that
and
really
more
worth?
threat
In your opinion?
to
Like-
put back the Force of Will?
No. The whole last turn, like fetching for Mystic Sanctuary, playing Hubbreacher as a blocker, rather than playing Tameo and like playing to the best of your deck's ability. If it sticks, you get to.
I
flip it
think
next
I
turn.
would go for the Tameo
Yeah,
play, as
me,
we
me too.
discussed.
Me too.
Okay, and there was the Exile with the headliner, and also like a normal draw, so just 2 cards per turn.
Lelia.
It looks like either Lelia or Monastery Swift. It's Lelia, it's 3 mana.
It's the full art.
It's just too far. It's just a little too far for us
Just in
to
a corner.
find.
Yeah, the board is too wide.
I will just quickly ask for the thing.
In response, there is Shark Typhoon cycling going on, putting out 4/4 Shark into play. Yeah, Lelia the Blade Blossom. And
Okay, it was Lelia. It's been confirmed.
Yeah.
And also, we asked our players to just stick to the center of the board. So there is a lot of pressure coming in.
and you missed Shark Typhoon.
Oh, there's been a shark to the typhoon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
throwing in and bringing out the token while drawing a card.
Yes. Well, it's a nice.
Put out some blockers.
Yeah,
in
it's
play.
a blocker, but still there is a lot of things coming in,
Yeah.
and it's just the Layla and Slimefoot Squee.
Lelia attacked, which is meaning it just
It
got
just dies.
smashed. Yes, smashed into the
Into the shark.
and the Slimefoot most likely gets resolved. But
Okay,
wait.
there are going
There
to be
is a
some
response.
shenanigans, definitely.
Oh wait, but casting spell from the Headliner Scarlet puts
Yes.
a counter on Lelia.
It does.
So it's a really neat combat trick.
It
I didn't
is.
miss it. I
is.
didn't catch it at first.
Yes, I
So
also did not think about that, but it's true.
I would completely got.
But he's not casting.
wait.
He's just exiling cards via the scavenging
Yeah, because
ooze.
if you exile a card from your library or your graveyard,
Yes.
then Lelia.
And Lelia just grew and killed the shark.
I don't believe I have ever seen this situation.
It's a
when
great
you
interaction.
Grave hit yourself in order
Yes.
to grow that in instant speed.
It's a great way
I saw
to
the
deal with
shenanigans
that.
with her and Title Pact when you exile
Yeah.
half your library
Well,
and
yeah.
grow her.
That
into
does work, but
a
we
little
might not see
proportions.
that today.
No, not likely.
But still, there is a lot of pressure on Michael's side of
Yeah.
boards, and
The
basically
Michael attacked
Wojta's...
pretty conservatively,
Mm-hmm.
just with 2 creatures. He could attack with everything.
I
but
would
he-
still keep the headliner Scarlet just to get 2 cards and then seal the deal next turn.
She's the best card you have.
Okay, Vandalion Shackles. I'm not sure if it solves a lot.
Welcome Shackles. You can take everything, I believe, including the Lelia, but you are taking tapped creature, you want to take something that you can block and
Yeah.
save your life.
You can,
next turn.
but you just take a single creature. It does not really deal with the whole board situation.
And you have only a second blocker. I
Yeah,
believe.
and there was like an instant piece.
Well,
Okay,
I
we have
would
only
maybe-
3 minutes left, I was told, so we are getting to potentially even extra time. But there are
I don't think I would
still
take
some
the
options.
Scavenging Ooze. I would take the Scarlet because even there is the synergy with Lelia and Ooze. The Scarlet takes another card, which is huge in
Yes.
this situation.
Maybe-
Because every card is a potential removal
You're
that
right.
completely solves this situation.
But
and wins the
maybe
game.
Wojciech
And
is
it's in
thinking
Grief.
about gaining life via the Scavenging Ooze. And there is Grief coming
That's true.
in. Just hardcast Grief being countered.
By not hard cast Force of Will.
Yes, by Exiled Force of Will, so which is coming down to 5 life. Very close, very much on the
But
edge.
the big board is still there. Attacks going on.
There is still a lot of creatures.
What,
A lot of options.
what is
We
going
will
to attack?
see. Okay, so just once again, a bit conservative. There is Orcish Bowmasters exiled, which they can be played. Remember, there is still the Arbor Elf and a lands on the side of Michael, still untapped. They are very hard to see on the side of the coverage, but we still have them.
Yes, you can play the the Bowmasters because you
Yeah.
can Arbor Elf the Beiju with the Utopia Scroll.
Absolutely.
And you see the block.
So there are, yes, and there is like an exile, probably on a creature, yes.
As you
On the
said,
Chaos Defiler.
maybe better like removing the threats, but that's in my opinion playing more for a late game.
Could be, could be. Well, he can once again use the shackles.
You kind of need to solve the immediate
There is
situation,
the-
finishing of
yes.
the Hullbreaker or Hullbreacher, sorry.
Yes, and putting on 2 more creatures, 2 more 1/1 baddies on the board.
Wojciech now is now on 5 life, facing
He's
once
facing
again,
a lethal threat. And if Michael decides to just swing with everything, I'm not really sure what can Vojta do about that.
The Vedalcon Shackles can take something.
Well, they will probably take either Headliner, Scarlet, or Lelia. I think there are no better targets for that. Both of them are scary. Both of them are card
Well,
advantage.
if they are not Lelia, it is a champ block, meaning Bowmasters could be also taken.
That's an option.
In order to you can sacrifice the clue
Yeah.
and not getting money for it. because
That's true. That's true. So
Wait,
there's Mishra's
there was-
Bubble.
There
which
was sucking a clue and not a trigger from Bowmasters, I believe.
I'm not 100%
Because,
sure.
We shouldn't remind
Yeah,
just
they may.
the trigger.
The guys missed it. That's unfortunate. Though there should have been. I missed it because I was lost in my own thoughts. But
I was just notifying because if we have a good life total, because
Yeah.
the Bowmaster trigger would definitely go upstairs and Wojciech is still at 5 life.
yes. Now we will see. It will be probably the headliner.
There was the Urza Saga, but unfortunately that doesn't really.
I'm
solve
not
the
sure if
situation.
the saga will do.
You have to block the biggest one, which is the Lelia, and you are still 5 mana 1/1 creatures.
Yeah.
Or sorry, 5 1/1 creatures
Yes.
come into you, even if you block the larger threat.
So
And all completely disregarding what Michael can play.
yeah, and
draw.
he will get 2 cards. One via. Okay, and there is Winter Moon.
Not much.
Which won't be a lot of cards played, but still there is access to 2, potentially 3 mana, maybe even 4 if he plays a lands.
No.
4 mana.
You have to count the
And Arbor Elf, that's
which
right.
is-
He can choose not to attack with that and get a lot of mana. So I'm not sure if he is in a tough situation when it comes to mana.
definitely looks dire for the Tamyo player.
Absolutely.
You see Michael immediately counting the
Yeah.
possible combat, how blocks are gonna go. Says
And
I'm
he
going
just
to win.
found a little
And
and
GG.
that's GG. Okay, that was
Got Tamyo winning 2-1
yeah, that was Stated Pack. So
to Michael just.
and there was a similar Spirit Guide in hand.
and Titan Pact, which you said we wouldn't see.
Well, we did not see that officially in the game.
Well,
because
it was exiled.
Yes,
by
you're
attacking
absolutely
trigger,
right.
Before the damage.
that was a great game to be had. Absolutely. I love the fact that we had
Three
like
games.
their in form in 3 games, a lot of fighting. You know, the fact that Squee basically got out of the game
Yeah,
2
that's
times.
really strange interaction.
Yeah.
Which very risky play, but really
Right.
interesting play, got rightfully and really severely punished.
Absolutely,
by
that
the
was just crazy. Like the first game, okay, the Slimefoot and Squee player lost, mainly even because there was no Slimefoot and Squee.
That was mainly the issue.
Yeah.
Also, everything went good for the Tamyo then.
Absolutely,
And there was the ultimate.
Yeah.
Then the other Planeswalker, Minscan Bull,
yeah, that was the way
pretty
to
much
win.
won the game.
Absolutely.
Because it resolved uncontested, and once it's in the play, especially deck which interaction is primarily about blue cards,
Yeah.
which means bounce spells that usually target creatures, and counter spells cannot really solve that much.
Absolutely.
You saw snap on the blue token
Yeah.
and nothing else. And
That's
they
right.
just went turn after turn, and it was ultimately too much for
Absolutely, and even in this game, we saw the weakness, you could say, of the Tameo decks, because there is no good option to get rid of a lot of small creatures, and they just slowly ate him alive.
And compared to the game where Tamio was in the play the
Yeah.
whole time, when you kill her with some kind of cheap interaction,
Yeah.
cheap removal, the deck really gets so much worse, because you lose
Absolutely,
the source
absolutely.
of the card advantage. You
Yeah.
lose the Tamio itself as a threat.
100%.
The game. So
And it's been completely different, you know, like the game where the Tameo was flipped and then slowly was ticking up and up and up and up to the ultimate before the scoop, basically.
Yeah.
You saw a complete difference. But at the moment when the Tameo could not really stick and could not really do anything, even like the play with Jace, if you remember, basically just killing.
that was a really sweet
Yeah.
setup, and if that would resolve, I think
Right.
it would really help the Tamio, and they
Definitely.
would still be in the game, most likely.
Absolutely, but that was a nice response by our Squee player, and Wojciech could not really do much about that. He just lost the Tameo, he lost the Jace, nothing else to do,
Okay.
and he could just brainstorm and that was it.
Yes, he wanted to brainstorm to flip Tamio.
Yeah.
+1.
He even tried to like attack before that, but you know there was like it wouldn't make a difference because there would be a response to the brainstorm trigger on Jace.
Yeah.
So still, there was no way to get through that.
You really wanted the extra clue token, because
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
situation that you flip Tamio, you as a counterpart, you lose the card advantage
Absolutely,
aspect.
absolutely. I understand that, but my point was that there was no way for Wojciech to get through with this play because the abrupt decay was just ready.
The first sign of one more extra ounce of value provided by Tamio would be swiftly met with the what was that, lightning bolt, I think, or abrupt decay.
Abrupt decay was the spell, which is
Well-
even nicer because you can't respond to that as a
Yeah,
new
and
player.
as I recall properly, the Wojciech had Force of Will.
Yeah.
The turn.
It's
and
probably
I don't
true.
know if it was in the Jace's brainstorm afterwards or before. So it would be extra unfortunate
Yes.
if we had a way to prevent
That's right.
his disruption of this interaction.
Which would
but
mean that
it would
yeah.
be abrupt decay.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Like it's possible. We don't really know, but I will believe this story.
Yeah.
I will believe this version of reality because it just sounds great.
We might ask afterwards.
Yeah, we may ask the players afterwards. We will take a short break, but we'll come back with the coverage soon enough because this round was quite long. So get ready for round number 3.
Let's go.